Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Urban Shop Talk Live with Barry and Terry. We are back on another beautiful Sunday. What is it? Today is the 25th of June out here in sunny Kent, right here in the shadow of Seattle, Washington. And man, it's hot out here, man. It's like 85 degrees or something like that. Man, it's warm. It's warm out here. It's nice.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, it's a nice day out here. It's real sunny, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. So we're gonna try to get it all in there. Today we're gonna talk a little bit. We're gonna do some movies. Talk a little bit about Transformers, some TV shows, and we do have a special guest in here today, though. His name is Mr. Aaron Quinones, and he's gonna be here. And he's gonna talk to us. He's a military veteran, 8-year military veteran.
Good friend of the shop, man. Been coming here for a while.
Fan of the show, man. And he's going to be on here to talk to us about the video we did the other night, the police shooting video. And he wants to talk to us and give us his take and some of his expertise with situations similar to that. So we're going to look forward to that. That's going to be later on in the show. But first, how was your weekend, B?
Man, it's going. It's hot. Went on a nice little early morning hike. Came back to the shop to do the show.
Where you hiking at, man?
We did poo-poo. We always do poo-poo. Just kind of what we like.
We'll tell everybody what poo-poo is. They might not know what poo-poo is.
You guys don't know what poo-poo point is?
It might throw them off, man. They might not know what poo-poo is.
Man, you got to do poo-poo point. It's so close, beautiful, up the mountain. It's a nice short hike. I mean, just great scenery, nice people. Definitely do it.
Yeah.
If you don't do hiking, you need to really get into hiking. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, get some physical fitness out there.
The Pacific Northwest. It is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. It is. You get out to some other places like that. The sun is out, real green.
We're gonna do a show from out there. We're gonna do the show on top of the mountain.
That might be something, man. That might be something. We'll do it one day. One of these days. We'll see.
We'll have our makeup guys.
Yeah, man. I didn't have as much fun yesterday because I was at the movie theater. And you know, I love watching movies. Okay. I'm a movie guy, B. We talk about movies all the time here. So I went to see a movie.
Hello, Barbara, Miss Barbara.
I went to see a movie that's in the same franchise that you have defended here.
I have defended
very well. You've really been a strong advocate for Mr. Michael Bay's Transformer franchise. And so you know what? On the strength of your recommendations, almost, I went to go check out the 5th installment in Michael Bay's Transformer franchise.
Okay, well,
I've seen it.
Let me cut you off.
Oh,
I said the first one was good.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Oh, the first one wasn't good. Was the first one good or not?
It was good. There's different ways to define good.
Dude, you like Fast and the Furious? Really? Are we going to sit here and have this type of conversation?
Continue.
Okay, what I said was the first one is solid. It's a good flick. After that, they tended to go kind of downhill. The first one with Mark Wahlberg wasn't.
No, Mark Wahlberg. Well, you mean the first one since he was joining the franchise? Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so you're getting excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one with,
okay, well, the one with Mark Wahlberg wasn't bad. The first one. Now, when I'm saying if I'm going out in a star system like we always do, right? That one was 2.5 stars.
2.5.
You watched it too, so I don't.
Oh, I watched it. The last one, the 4th one with Mark Wahlberg. You gave it 2.5.
I did give it 2.5. I thought it wasn't bad.
Age of Extinction? I think that was Age of Extinction. You gave that 2.5 stars.
Well, just like you gave Fast and Furious 3. So I guess.
Oh man, that's wow.
I think it's better.
Well, let me talk about this.
Which one is better? Let's ask them. Which one?
Hold on, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that.
Okay.
But I do want to focus on this one. The current one that's in theaters that came out. It was released this weekend. It was Transformers 5, directed by Mr. Michael Bay. Oh, the incomparable Michael Bay.
He's made some good movies, though.
Since Armageddon? All right.
Who did Miami Vice? Was it?
No, that wasn't him. No, that was Michael Mann.
Michael Mann.
Okay. Michael Mann.
That Miami Vice was good.
Was it? No.
What?
No.
Michael.
You talking about the Jamie Foxx and Colin?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
good job, guys.
Hot garbage. I'm starting to see where those stars that you gave Age of Extinction came from.
Anyway, all I gotta say is Fast and Furious, and that'll get us back
I'll
on
say Fast and Furious five more times while I'm talking about this Transformer. So anyway, let me talk about this one.
How you doing, brother?
Let me talk about this one real quick. Let me talk about this one. The current one that's in the Transformers 5, directed by Michael Bay. It is starring Mark Wahlberg, Josh Duhamel, Anthony Hopkins.
Nicholas,
Can
you don't know what
believe
you're
this?
talking about.
Can you believe this? Anthony Hopkins was actually in this dumpster fire. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. He was in this movie, this film. Mr. Anthony Hopkins was in there. Gerard Carmichael,
can you actually,
Laura Haddock. I gotta give people
well,
what's
we don't
in.
need.
So basically, if I'm gonna try to give you some kind of synopsis in this movie that came out yesterday, it's about robots and bad robots versus good robots.
Wow.
And something
Really? It's about robots?
human history and how they
Okay.
had something to do
All
with it, with the Knights of the Round Table and Merlin and King Arthur, and you know, something happens and something else happens and robots come.
Okay. Well,
So anyway, let me get to. I'll give it
anybody-
more than that. Basically, it's like always. There's a object of great importance that they have to get to in this movie. It's Merlin's staff. They got to get to it because it's going to have some major effect on the impact of the world and the Transformers world, Cybertron. So, God, this movie. Look, I've not been a fan of any of the Transformers movies.
then why would you go see the movie, man?
I gotta
Why
watch.
would you go? You don't have to.
I'm a
Nobody-
film reviewer,
Okay,
so
but-
that's what I do.
But I
Whether I'm
understand that,
gonna,
but we already knew that this movie.
Look, can I give it a review? Can I give it a review? You can jump in afterwards. Yeah, I review films, whether I want to or not. I review films, but some of them I have to take a chance on. This one, you know, I got kids too, so that's also an excuse to go watch it with them. And I checked it out. God,
Mary, you want to see Transformers?
this movie, oh my goodness. I mean, for one, this is one thing that they do with these Transformer movies, right? They got the human characters and the robots, but they spend more time with these boring human characters than they do the actual robots, and they're so inconsequential to the story. They don't have any effect on the robots one way or the other. But you spend
You like the V-neck joke?
you spend the entire movie with these human characters running around, sweating, doing nothing, telling bad jokes. The movie is crazy long. The movie's like 2.5 hours. It's terrible. You know, and then the action scenes aren't even that good.
Okay, well, let's just stop it. Okay, you didn't like the movie. Can
One
we move on to the next subject?
star, and that's being generous.
What's up, Dwayne? How you doing, brother?
1 star, and that was, like I said, this is the dumpster fire. And I don't understand how you gave the Age of Extinction 2.5 stars. You got to talk about Fast and the Furious. You didn't give that crap, that dumpster fire that was out there 2.5 stars.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why.
I take
I'm gonna tell you
Tokyo
the reason-
Drift over the last Fast. The
First of all,
Transformer
Tokyo
movie.
Drift is a good movie.
Just like Age of
Oh,
Extinction, right?
Tokyo Drift is not good?
No, it's not good, but it's better than Transformers and all that
You know,
crap.
Okay. First of all, Mark Wahlberg is a way better actor than Vin Diesel.
Has
So I'm
nothing to
going
do
on
with the quality
that.
of
I'll
the
just
movie.
go on that.
That
Has-
doesn't excuse
has
him for being terrible. in
nothing to do
Transformers.
He's not terrible.
He's horrible in this movie.
Everything's horrible.
The whole
about
Did you
this
see the
movie.
new one?
Yeah, I
Everything's
saw this.
horrible.
Okay, well,
Everything.
the one before that
What
was
do you
bad?
think? What do you think,
The
Jared
one was bad
Youngman?
as-
By the way, Jared Youngman, our voice, he's here helping us out once more. Jared Youngman, what do you think?
So which one is better? Between, I'm talking about the first Transformers, Transformer 5, right? Right?
Yeah, that doesn't. We're talking.
I'm just saying, who's better? Which one is better between Transformers 5 and Fast and Furious? The new one. I just want to
It's
know.
not even close.
It's not close though. Transformers 5 is just by far.
Oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Transformers 5 is one of the worst movies
If you
you'll
watch
ever
this
see.
Movie, Barry, the
I'm not
dialogue
going- well,
in
I-
this movie is so terrible.
And Fast and the Furious dialogue was good?
It's better than this.
Oh, stop it!
Oh my
Stop it,
god.
guys.
Yeah,
Really?
Oh my
Mark-
god.
Oh man, come on, man. You guys, you
Big,
lost your damn.
Mark Wahlberg is a good actor, but he is terrible in this movie.
Look,
It's
I don't know how many good actors have been in bad movies over here.
Right,
He
Nicholas-
hasn't.
Nicholas,
This is bad.
Nicholas, you about to be banned from the shop. You keep
What is
this
that?
on. He don't know what he's talking about.
Hey
either.
man, come on, man. This is Nicholas knows something. This is bottom line is 1
G.
star.
Scott, how you doing, brother?
1
Thank you.
star at the highest that I could possibly give it, and that's only for
Wait for Redbox.
what? I don't even.
Thank
really
you,
know.
Ricky.
That might,
Ricky.
They might
Ricky
all
just told you guys, and now he's right. The newest Fast and the Furious was horrible.
Hey,
That's all I want
Ricky,
to say.
did you watch Transformers 5?
He
I want you to
doesn't-
watch the 2 of them.
Oh yeah, did you watch
I
it?
want you to watch the 2 of them
Transformers
and then
5.
compare them. I don't care how bad you thought Fast and
We're
the Furious,
talking about-
the newest one was.
The point being is,
Yeah, but we're talking about the review of
this is
Transformers
exact.
5.
Thank you.
okay,
This
wait,
this
time out,
particular
time out.
movie.
We already know this one was garbage.
Horrible.
I never told you guys this was gonna be good.
Horrible.
But he want to sit here and start off. He's like, "Oh, well, B said." All I'm saying is,
You did.
I'm going
You
on the
did
fact
defend
that you want.
Transformers.
I defended the first one, but he's out here defending
That's
Fast
a
and
2.5
Furious.
star for Age of Extinction.
He thought
that one was a 1 star dumpster fire too.
Terry, when you first went to go watch that Fast and Furious and you came to the barbershop, the first thing you're like, oh man.
Oh no!
Oh
You
man.
lying.
Oh,
You lying now? Because I didn't blow it up like
It
that.
was terrible.
I said it was cool.
I said that.
I said it was cool.
I said I was cutting his hair. I said, really?
You lying. He
I said,
lying.
really?
You lying.
I had shot full of
You
people.
lied to the whole
Let's
shop.
talk to
Oh,
Billy.
you lying.
Billy.
I said
What did
it
this
was
man?
good. It was Citizen Kane compared to Transformers 5.
We had a shot.
God.
Really? You
Yes.
wanna go there? Okay.
Compared to
Anyway, let's get
Transformers
on.
5.
Terry, the
Good
last
Lord.
3 Transformers movies.
I didn't say, but I never said that. What I said was the first one was pretty good. It was pretty good. The first one wasn't good.
I'd watch
No!
Fast and Furious 3 more times.
So you talking about with Shia LaBeouf?
Different
No,
opinion.
man.
Different
All of these
opinion.
movies suck.
Okay, all the Fast and Furious.
Were better than these.
Tokyo
Anyway,
Drift was the best
let's
one.
move on, please.
The one without Vin Diesel was the best
Move
one.
on.
This guy likes Vin Diesel and want to call me out about.
I'll watch any Vin Diesel movie.
There
any
you
other
go.
week
And
over
this is-
Transformers 5. That
Okay.
was
Vin Diesel is
over any of the Transformers movies.
okay. Is Vin Diesel the worst actor?
He actually might improve the Transformers if they put him in there.
Okay, I'm done talking.
And let him go a quarter mile.
Okay, let's get
at a
on.
time.
Let's move on. Move on.
Let's move on.
G. Scott, thank you. He said it. You're right.
The first Transformers movie was good for what?
Shia
No.
LaBeouf was way better than Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, I'm not saying that they didn't take a dip. It was better.
Thank you, G. Scott, again.
Trent-
Vin Diesel is the worst. Goodness,
Is the
Am
worst
I talking to myself today? 'Cause this is
Compared
what
to
I
what?
like. Everybody's
Everybody's
agreeing with me.
I don't even watch.
Everybody's
agreeing with me.
Furious for Vin Diesel. I like most of everybody else in the movie.
He like Triple X, the latest Triple X. too.
Yeah, because I really said that.
I thought that was
on a separate.
Let's move. Let's move on.
Okay, we got important
Let's
things
move
to
on.
talk about. Sorry,
Let's
guys.
move on from that.
He got me
That
going. He's
jumped
gonna try
the
to call me out.
1 star at the very highest that you could possibly give anything. 1 star, and that might be negative. I don't know.
Okay.
But there's some good some
TV
good-
shows.
Well, there's some TV shows. We're gonna get right there, but there's some movies coming up too that we're gonna be looking up in the summertime. There's some good ones left. This Spider-Man: Homecoming is gonna be out.
Now, and I'm not a big CGI, as you guys know. I always call out a lot of CGI. That looks pretty good, promising. The actor looks pretty good. man. I will say that.
Later this week, I think it's on the 28th. Edgar Wright's movie Baby Driver is
Yes.
coming out. I cannot wait.
I've been
for that
looking
one.
forward to Baby Driver.
That one looks
that
good.
looks really
Kevin
good.
Spacey.
Whole
We're
bunch of
talking
Jamie
about Jamie
Foxx.
Foxx. Yeah. There's a lot of good ones. The other one, Dunkirk. Dunkirk.
Yes.
That's another one that I can't
actually-
wait for. That's a Christopher Nolan movie. It's about World War II.
Yep.
It's got Cillian Murphy. It's got our boy Tom Hardy in it.
Yep.
That we both can agree on is one of the best guys in the business
One of the
today.
most underrated, underappreciated
uh,
actors right
Kenneth
now.
Branagh,
Yeah.
all of those guys are going to be in that movie. So there's some good summer movies still left to come.
Even though Tom Hardy, boy, he was disappointed in that show. I was looking forward to the TV show. Did
which
you
one?
ever-
The
The latest one.
Yeah.
We can't remember the name because it was terrible.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
No. Taboo.
I try to give it.
It was I.
No,
I
it
don't
was
know,
it
man.
was bad. You know it.
I don't know.
Listen,
I
I
don't
like
know.
Tom. I can't give you a pass on that Tom. It was just.
It was weird. It was really
It
weird.
was really.
strange.
It was like he was witchcraft, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
witchcraft.
well, it was definitely witchcraft.
Well, no, but that's.
Well, it was witchcraft.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched everything. I watched all of that. There was definitely some. He
Some
was
dark-
actually was dabbling in witchcraft.
Yeah, it was
For
real
real.
devil, but I'm
There
saying
was some dabbling.
they were dabbling in and out.
They were
is what I'm
dabbling in.
saying. And then that,
It's weird. It was weird. It wasn't what I thought.
Yeah,
It wasn't what I thought. But anyway,
Okay.
But Tom Hardy's going to be in that in Dunkirk. That's going to
Okay.
go. War of the Planet of the Apes. Woody Harrelson's coming
Oh,
out.
I liked that.
Oh man.
When does
What
that
do
come
you?
out?
That comes out the week after.
November?
No, that's this in July. That's
Yeah.
coming out the week after Spider-Man. So
Woody Harrelson
Spider-Man's on
hasn't
the.
been in something in years, really.
No, he's been
in
popping
that
up in
with
smaller
Magic
movies.
movie.
He was really good in Fargo. Was
He's
he
in
in
that
Fargo?
Magic movie too, right? With the
He was in the movie with the magician. I don't know why I can't think of the name. Now You See Me.
Yeah,
Now You See Me. He was in that, and he's currently filming right now in the Han Solo film. He's going to be in the Han Solo
shoot.
movie.
Good stuff.
He's
Okay.
been popping up in a lot.
He's
of
been
stuff.
doing a lot of co-star
And
kind of
True Detective a few years ago.
you know what?
Oh
I know.
my God!
I have not what. I'll be honest with you. I've heard nothing but
Go
good
back.
reviews. I will watch
the
that.
first season of True Detective.
I'm
you
working on
watch
a couple things. Game of Thrones, and I had to work on this. So I'll put
True
that
Detective
up.
season 1.
Oh, and Nicholas, you're right. Power comes out
That's tonight.
tonight.
We're gonna get to
Intro of
that.
Power.
We're gonna get to that. But
Last season disappointing though.
What I'm gonna say
Be
though,
honest
real
with
quick,
you.
what I'm gonna say though, True Detective back on Woody Harrelson. Go back and watch the first season. Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey might be the best work of their
And it's
career.
funny because I wasn't a big Matthew McConaughey fan until I started watching some of this.
But that
stuff.
one came.
He killed it.
That one came right around the time he started really picking his game back up.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, those are some of the movies
Ballers on
coming out.
HBO, it's cool. It's all right.
Oh, speaking of Matthew McConaughey, in August, The Dark Tower is coming out.
Oh, yes.
with
It
Matthew
just-
McConaughey and Idris Elba.
Yep.
So that's coming out. So there's some good summer movies.
Oh, No Country for your man, but that's classic. That's going back. But that's one of my favorite movies, and I always forgot to put that on there. Man,
What he's
No
always
Country for Old Men.
what he's always popping up is these
but he's
small
such a
little
good.
roles.
He's so good in his roles that he just elevates. I don't know. He's a great actor. Ever since Cheers.
yeah.
I like
So
some Cheers too.
so those are some of the ones that are coming out. that
Speaking
we're
of
looking forward
Power,
to. What's some
I
TV
can never
shows?
understand. Okay,
Let's
I
go to
know.
TV shows. Power coming on tonight.
Yeah.
Premieres tonight.
I would never understand this show.
Why?
For the simple fact is, he had this beautiful woman at home, the wife,
Mhm.
and he leaves her for. I just don't understand that dynamic. When you have this
Yeah,
lady
well,
that doing
isn't
everything,
Any
she's
guy
down-
though?
Well,
Isn't
not like
any
that.
guy
She-
who
she-
cheats on his wife or something.
Well,
That's
not
just how
really.
it goes, right?
I mean, it's not. Yeah, well,
And the
there's
thing,
other
the
dynamics. There's other
situation-
dynamics to it. I think that,
The situation with him and his wife was that I think.
and she was just down doing. I mean, you know.
But
then again, yeah.
I think he had a stronger connection with the girl because he dated her before. And they
But it
had
was
a-
really
they had
no
a
connection.
relationship.
That's what I'm saying. The chemistry. Did you see the chemistry? Besides the sex scenes are pretty steamy. You have to give him that. But
I
I'm
don't
just
know. Did anybody, if you don't watch the show Power is about a guy who plays a drug dealer who also is a club owner.
Joseph,
And-
you're right. It does happen every day. But I'm saying to the terms of what he had, I don't know. I just don't.
Well, somebody might not know. So the
Okay.
show Power is a show that comes on tonight at the Stars. It's the 4th season. This is the 4th season.
Goes
We're
with
starting
Sipper?
tonight. It's a show about some drug dealers in New York. One of them that had been trying to go straight for a while, but he keeps getting pulled back in. And his friend Tommy keeps getting him into more trouble. And his girlfriend, outside of his wife, his marriage, his wife was there with him, holding it down for a long time. But he stepped outside and started messing with his girlfriend on the side, who happened to be an FBI agent. That got him into trouble. And so
Yep.
now that's where the season 4 is picking up from.
And El Chapo, it is funny. Somebody in the shop told me about it a couple weeks. I think it was a week ago. And so I went back and started watching El Chapo.
El Chapo, what is that? What is that on?
It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix
no,
original. I
Sound like
believe.
Netflix shows, man.
It's different. I mean, Asian subtitle, so it has a subtitle kind of concept to it, which makes it a little. And then the way it's filmed is a little different. But it does pick up. I have to watch a little bit more before I can kind of.
You've been watching the show called Paula.
Man,
What's the
BBC guys, you guys are slipping if you're not watching BBC type of shows. Their shows are so good, character driven, a lot of storytelling. If you like that, very slow, methodical, but give it a chance. Paula is a psychological thriller, really good show. So you guys need to check it out.
police? It's kind of police drama kind of thing.
No, Paula's not a police.
Is it a police drama?
No.
Not a police drama.
She's a school teacher, a chemistry teacher.
Oh, okay.
Has a one night stand with a guy, and she thinks it's over, and obviously it's not. The guy comes back and stalking her. She flips the script on the guy stalking her. I'll leave it like that.
So it's a script or strip?
No script.
Okay, I thought you were
Totally
telling me
not.
something else with the show.
You all right?
I thought you were stripping with it. No, so but it sounds
Yeah, I
cool.
didn't
It
say
sounds
that.
good. You said it was good.
Okay. Yeah.
You're trying to tell me about that one, so I'm trying to get on that.
We're trying to tell you guys about different shows because I think TV shows right now are almost killing movies in terms of there's so many really good
The
TV shows.
TV shows really have been, and
I'm
almost
telling you, man.
this year. Now we're at the halfway point of the year. If you're looking at TVs and movie shows,
Mhm.
I think the TV is way ahead.
I
In
think
terms
so.
of
I
quality.
think quality, quantity,
Way ahead.
everything. I mean, there's so
This
many
year
shows.
right now, what stands out in your mind,
for
movie
TV
wise,
shows.
from the theater?
And another one I got hipped on is Black Mirror. Black Mirror is good.
I've seen that.
Whoa.
I've heard about it, but I haven't
Different
really got
stories throughout, kind of like a modern day Twilight Zone type of concept.
Well,
Very good. Check that out.
We think that the TV shows are killing the movies right now, but right now, if you're talking about just in movies, in terms of movies, what sticks out in your mind, stuff that you've seen this year as your best of the year so far at the halfway point?
Movie wise,
Six months in. What's the best movie that you've seen?
you know what's man, I can't.
Get
even
Out?
think of one. Get Out was good.
Get Out? Is that?
And
okay?
I'll be honest, I had to go back and watch Get Out. What I liked about probably the most about Get Out is the underneath, kind of stuff that kind of
Yeah.
when you go back and
The
watch it,
underneath
you're
the
like,
surface, like you
you're
watch
like,
it, you
damn,
catch
I didn't catch that, and damn, I didn't catch that.
No,
So
no.
that's a great movie. It is.
Get Out.
Um,
I put Wonder Woman on. I love Wonder Woman.
Well, I won't put that in there.
loved it.
Well, yeah.
Put it. It's making my top of the list. I actually watched it again. My son finally came back to town, so I took him to go see
Oh,
it
good.
again.
You
I
liked it?
loved Oh, he loved
Barry, you want to see Wonder
it. He
Woman?
loved it.
Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
No, he doesn't like.
Yeah,
movies.
he don't like. He's not. You can't go off of him. He don't really like.
My kid doesn't like movies. I just
So
don't.
it's not
I already
in
know
there.
this.
My
My
son should be a part
Are you
of
my
the
kid?
X-Men.
He should be the poster boy for.
Are you my son over
for
there?
outdoor
You know,
people. Just be outdoors. Be
I like-
outside. Do stuff.
Two things I love: baseball and I love movies. Hates both of them.
he fell a little far from that trend.
Yeah, man.
There's, you know,
Okay.
speaking of TV shows. So TV shows, they've been really good. There's another one that I watched.
Okay.
And
You've been telling me about. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, I want to. Yes.
Netflix. I love this
It's
show,
a
man.
Netflix
It's
original?
a Netflix original.
Okay.
It just dropped on Friday, and I finished it, the whole thing. They're half-hour episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a comedy, dramedy, but they're half-hour, 10 episodes each.
I remember that. That was
went
based
through
on the wrestling because I remember that whole
It's
wrestling.
based on
I think it was in the
It's a
80s.
semi-realistic take on the 80s women's wrestling.
I remember
thing.
that because that came on after I think WWF at
Yeah,
that
well, listen,
time.
it's the same people behind.
Oh, I like that.
It's the same people behind
I love me some
Orange
wrestling.
Is the New Black. The same people that made that, and it's the same
Concept?
kind of feel to it.
Okay.
It's like the people behind that, they really know how to do ensemble
Oh,
cast.
time out. I don't mean to interrupt you,
really
but
well.
American Gods, I love American
I'm gonna get
Gods.
back on that in a
Yeah,
second.
we'll
But
get on
Glow,
that,
Let
yeah.
me
Okay,
talk about
go,
Glow.
go, okay.
Glow. This show,
American
it's
Gods
based
is
in-
dope, super
it's
dope.
based in the '80s, and the production is great because it's a real retro vibe to it, just like Stranger Things. It's kind of like it's like really like you feel like it's in the '80s. Everything, the stores look like it, the outfits, the cars,
That's the era.
the hair.
I'm an 80s cat.
But everything looks on point. The acting is great. It's funny.
I was born in the
The two
80s.
main characters, Alison Brie is the main character, and her character and her.
I was born in the 80s. I'm sorry. I don't
Stop
regret
lying.
it.
Stop lying, man. Stop lying. See, do it to yourself. Man.
I'm
Do it to
84.
yourself.
Born in 84, man.
You might be 84. You weren't born in 84. So, but the show is great. It deals with the conflict between women, the sisterhood between women, the things they had to deal with, especially in something that's so
Did they have Vince
objectifying.
McMahon in there? Because Vince.
No, it's not a Vince
Oh.
McMahon. This is not a Vince McMahon thing. This is like a smaller promotion that was trying to get started. There was a.
See, I thought it was.
No, it's a
totally it's fictional.
It's kind of a take on a real show because there was an actual women's wrestling organization that was just like this.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what I
80s.
thought.
But it's not. It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
affiliated with the
Okay.
WWF.
Okay.
The WWE.
Well, no, at that time.
WWF back then,
Yeah.
WWE now. But no, and basically it's a guy who's he's pretty much a failed film director who's trying to make money to finance his next picture, and so he puts together this women's wrestling thing with a bunch of actresses that don't know what it is.
That's actually a smart
So
idea.
it's awesome though. The show is awesome.
Okay.
It's funny.
We'll check it out.
You'll like all the women. It's great. American Gods.
Awesome
Finished it
show.
up last week. That is a weird show. It's crazy. It's weird.
And
but
you
it's
gotta
something-
pay attention. You cannot be doing,
You're not
multiple
gonna-
type of things and kind of come back into it because you're gonna miss the elements of that show.
Right.
Very
You're
good
not
show.
going to see anything like American Gods anywhere
American
else.
Gods is dope.
Basically, there's a war going on between
All the
gods of
gods.
the past and
the
gods
gods of the
now.
future.
And there's a lot of allegory that's going on
Uh-huh.
with the real world stuff and with technology and with just different things, social issues. All of it's in there, and then just some out of this world, like who came up with this stuff kind of thing. So American Gods on Stars, that was good.
Check it out.
That's the 8-episode first season for that one.
That is now. Let's get Aaron.
So that was that. So that was
Yep.
so that was just some stuff we wanted to touch on. Some TV stuff, some movie stuff, a lot of the fun stuff that we got going on. Now, so switching gears a little bit, we do have to switch gears a little bit because there's something that's going on out here. We all know about it. We did a whole 45-minute show on Tuesday special about it. We thank everybody for
we had to work overtime, you guys.
for watching it.
And thank you guys. A
Well,
lot of
we
comments.
love to do it. We do it for love,
A lot
so-
of message. I mean, after even the show went off, I got a lot of text
Feedback.
messages and feedback, all types of different feedback.
Right,
And it was cool, man. So
of course, with the shooting, unfortunate shooting last week of Charlene Lyles out here in Seattle, there was a big topic, ongoing topic throughout the country, and something that hit us close to home here. We do have a friend of the show who was watching at the time when we did our show. We gave our take and our feelings about the police drama that's going on, and he actually wants to give us his take. And he's an 8-year military veteran. And his name is Aaron Quinones, and we're gonna
All right, man.
bring him
Come
on
on,
right
Aaron.
now. And he watched the show.
How you doing, my
He's
guy?
got
Hey, thanks,
some
guys.
takes on it.
Hey, thanks
How
for
you doing,
bringing me in,
Aaron?
guys.
No problem,
worries,
man. No
man.
problem. So
I think one of the things that we did notice when you were making comments, you had a different take, and sometimes, those takes can get lost in it. A lot of people,
Right.
a lot of us were emotional, and sometimes we have to see the other side of things. So yeah, if you can walk us through maybe a little bit about yourself and tell us.
Yeah, so I probably have an unpopular opinion here,
That's-
with
hey.
you guys, but that's good. This kind of discussion is healthy, is when we can bring two differing ideas together and then find some common ground. That's
Amen.
important.
well, there's
you
two
know.
sides to the story. There's so everybody's got their own take and their own thing, and you've got some expertise in dealing with close quarter situations,
That's right.
conflicts of that nature. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background, your history, and your service in the military.
Right. So a little bit about me. Like I said, I spent 8 years in the Marines. I was with the Special Forces unit there called 1st Anglico. We're all forward observers, so I've been trained. I was the unit's close combat instructor, naval weapons security manager. I've been through Mount School, which is Mount Training, which is military operations in urban terrain. So I understand how to clear a room, how to pry off a door. The close quarter battle, I'm very familiar with that, and I've actually had real world experience doing it, not just overseas, but actually here as a civilian, just living here in the city of Kent. I've had to deal with that kind of stuff. So I understand a little bit more than maybe the average civilian would, just looking at it from the outside, because they've never had that experience. They've never had to deal with that, making that life or death decision when that adrenaline's pumping through your body. So it changes the way you react is what happens. So basically, military, police, we go through a ton of training. So what the training does is it creates muscle memory. So it's just like playing sports. You shoot free throws all day long, it becomes muscle memory. You don't have to think about what you're doing. Your body just reacts. When you see an opportunity to take a shot, you take that shot. Well, in the military and in the police, they do the same thing. When you're put in that high stress situation, you don't want to have to be making a lot of cognitive decisions. Processing time takes time, and those microseconds can mean the difference between you going home or you getting a tag on your toe. So when they train, people always say, well, why didn't they shoot him in the leg or shoot him in the arm? Well, when you train to shoot center mass every single time.
Okay.
You train that repetition. It becomes muscle memory. So that way when that threat happens, you have just a few microseconds to make that decision. And now the rest of us, we get to sit back and we've got eternity to debate what has happened. To debate, well, he should have done this, he should have done that. But he only has a split second to make that decision. Because remember, this guy wants to go home to his family too. Any shooting, no matter if it's justified, not justified, we have an eternity to sit back and debate it. But that guy who actually had to pull the trigger, he only had a split second to make that life or death decision. And he made the very best decision he could with the threat that was in front of him and the options he had available. Now, do they always make the right call? Maybe not. But remember, they're the ones in that position. They're the ones who has to make that call. And if we haven't had that experience, it's really tough for us to be able to judge them on what they should have done. If we haven't had to put our life on the line and be put in that situation where it's either this guy going home or me. So it makes it really tough to be, an armchair quarterback. Everybody wants to be. It's tough.
Yes, I think I have a few questions.
Go ahead. You got a question. Go ahead for it, man.
The first question I would have is that going into that situation, though, when the information was presented, because you knew this lady had some type of mental condition,
Right.
then you have to also prepare yourself, it seemed like, for anything on that. So it seemed like you would have prepared yourself just in case they got to that situation where I could tase them, right? It just didn't seem like they were prepared. It's like they didn't prepare themselves for that. And the second thing is, not all the decisions are correct, but then they're not getting prosecuted for the bad decisions that they do. In terms of, if they kill somebody even though it was an accident, they need to be prosecuted just like anybody else would.
Right. And there's a question too that piggybacks off of something that you're asking about the different types of scenarios, Barry. And Joseph Higgins brings up a question. What about when cats are unarmed? What's the muscle memory for that? What's the protocol when you're dealing with somebody who's unarmed?
Right. So that's a different situation than what we're talking about right now, because she was armed at the time. So, but we'll talk about that. We'll address that. So when people are unarmed, again, you only have that split second to make that decision. And it's easy for us to sit back and judge, well, he was unarmed, he was this, he was that. They've actually taken people who are activists, people who are on the other side saying that the police were wrong. They've put them through active shooter training. And so if you go on YouTube right now, you can look up active shooter training, and they'll show you a bunch of videos where they took people who were very outspoken against the police, because they shot somebody who was unarmed, and they said, look, we're going to put you through a simulation. They put them through a simulation with a simulation firearm, a simulation round, and they put them through that training where they have to do what we call shoot, no shoot scenarios. And when they do that, it totally changes their perception of that police officer's job. Because now they've got that, even though they know it's training, even though they know it's not real life, they got that adrenaline just coursing through their veins. Just their heart is just beating. They're scared, short of breath. When adrenaline hits you, your vision narrows. okay? And you become very hyper-focused on something. That's why they spend a lot of time training officers in pursuits to pay attention to their blind spots, because they get so focused on that car, they're not paying attention to the intersection. They get hit a lot.
Right. Okay.
So the same thing, they've got to be able to overcome their body's natural reaction to adrenaline. So when they put, I don't mean to cut you off, but when they put people into the active shooter scenario, they come away with a different frame of mind. Like, wow, that was a lot harder than I thought. They have a different appreciation for that police officer and his position.
I get that, but we're putting these people in a tremendous position of power, and when you have that kind of power, with great power comes great responsibility. That's the old quote, right?
Yep.
There's a different level of accountability, a different level of responsibility that comes in there. And to me, I'm sorry, I hear what you're saying about the split-second decision. And when you're as somebody like you with the military background, for you it might be different when you're in a hot spot. You're in a dangerous spot out there in the field in the military. But that's different than a residential home of a woman. I just feel like the parameters should be different. The reaction should be different. The way that your adrenaline's pumping should be different, because these scenarios are completely different. There's a wartime situation where you're dealing with people that you know will probably kill you no matter what, and then there's the ones that maybe might be kind of dangerous. You don't know. So I just don't feel like you should be so amped up to shoot and kill. And then there's the other thing with this whole thing. Okay, so we know that you guys are trained to shoot center mass and all of this good stuff, right? But even with that training, the common sense part that I think about when it comes to this is, I don't know anybody badass enough, if you have a knife, to still hold it if you got shot in the leg. So I don't understand why your training should just be, oh, I'm supposed to shoot center mass. When somebody's coming at you with a knife, can't you shoot them in the leg? You kneecap somebody, I think they're going to go down. I don't know any Terminators or Robocops. I think most people are going to go down if you shoot them in the leg, you shoot them in the shoulder, anything like that. And if you say that it's because they're so amped up, I feel like then that's bad training in that scenario. When you're doing war stuff and you're doing stuff overseas and you're in combat, that's different. But if you're dealing with civilians, which is the things that you have been trained to uphold and to serve and protect as a military man, civilians should be treated differently, I think, when it comes to that kind of stuff.
So especially civilians for mental.
So you've mental health, right? You touched on two things, so I'm gonna separate them. So let's talk about number one, the military versus the civilian, right? So the battlefield that we're trained for now is not a conventional battlefield, where it used to be, there were trenches and you knew who the enemy was. I mean, that used to be what war is about. Now it's not. Now we're going in doing more police action, where we are going house to house, room to room. We have to kick in a door. We don't know who's on the other side. They could be a friendly or they could be a foe. We don't know until we enter that building, and we have to make those same decisions. It's the same thing with the police officers. They have to make those same decisions because they don't know when they come in that door what they're walking into.
Isn't it a little bit different than dealing with Afghanistan or something than here?
There's a question, what about unarmed citizens?
Well, he said he was going to get back to that too.
I want to hear that.
So again,
but
right?
what if, my question is, what if these decisions are incorrect? Why is it that police are not accountable for them though?
And shouldn't they be?
And shouldn't they be accountable if you can tell that a shooting was incorrect, that all the protocols, one of the protocols wasn't followed? They should be prosecuted.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
I don't disagree with that.
And that's fair.
I don't disagree with that. There are good shoots and there are bad shoots.
But you have experience where
I can look at something and I see it with a little bit different point of view than people who haven't been in that situation.
Okay, but what
I don't make the right decision all the time either. I mean, let's take this down a notch, right?
Okay.
Even when you're cutting somebody's hair, right? You're not 100% right every single time, right? You do make a mistake.
Damn.
Right?
You didn't have to go there.
Okay, right.
There, you didn't have to go there.
Hey,
right.
You don't have to answer that question.
No.
Right? And so it's the same thing. Any profession that any of you guys are in, you're not on 100% every single time. You guys make mistakes. Now, with a police officer, they're human. They make mistakes. Now,
Life's on the line with that, though.
but the stakes are a lot higher.
That's it.
Right?
That's
the stakes
exactly
are
it.
a lot higher. But you got to remember, these guys are human too. They're just like you and me. They get up, they kiss their wife goodbye, they go off to work, they want to come home.
And that's okay, and I get that, but the problem I have is if you take somebody's life, even if you made that mistake,
Right.
you have got to pay a consequence
Right.
on that. And,
If-
and we're seeing too many,
And a mistake,
200,
it being a
over
mistake.
200, and none of them are being prosecuted.
Right.
I find that to be just
That's
Is it like in 5 years?
5 years. I'm sorry, you
there's been like 2 convictions over the last like 3 years.
the one in Minnesota with
It's crazy.
it's just like you,
But you guys are talking about that. That's not a policing issue. That's more of a court issue that needs to be changed.
But-
how are they prosecuting?
But I feel
But-
like the court. I feel like the court's response
but
to
the
it
police-
is allowing the police to continue this because there's no consequence. Don't you think that would change? If people were going down for life, if people were getting put on on in any kind of trouble for this kind of thing, don't you think that the number of shootings towards these people would go down? Don't you think that would change a little bit if they know that there was a consequence, that this majorly going to happen? These people are walking every time.
It does happen. There are police that lose their job. There are police
They lose
that
their
are
job
convicted.
though, but these people are losing their lives. It's a difference, man. It's a job is in somebody's
I
life.
ask you a question. Don't
Yeah.
you feel like there should be more psychological evaluation for these guys that want these jobs to be police officers?
by
right?
outside somebody
Like,
outside.
If you had
Outside
that
counsel.
job, that would be more acceptable than just hiring these guys. A lot of them don't seem well trained enough to be being cops.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys ever tried out for the police department?
Not
it's
at all.
Very, very rigorous. Very rigorous.
I did
They
hear
put
that.
you through
Yeah,
all
I
kinds
heard that.
of I've done it.
Mhm.
I've applied for the Secret Service and different things like that.
Right.
So the sheriff's department here, it's rigorous testing, and it takes months just to get hired on. They do put you through a psychological profile,
Mhm.
and if you don't fit in that little box of what they want, then you're disqualified. So they do the best they can with the tests they have available, right? Like you can't catch everyone. You don't know what everybody's going to do in any given scenario, but they spend a lot of time investigating your background. Where have you been going? What have you been doing? Who are you talking to? What's your personality? They do a personality profile test. They do a psychological evaluation. They do a physical fitness test. They make you go through marksmanship training, decision. They put you through these scenarios where they show you these 100 different videos, and you have to make a judgment call based on what you see in that 3 or 4 seconds of that video. And so they do put you through a rigorous testing before you can even apply, before you can even be accepted to the academy. Now, once you're in the academy, now you have cadres overseeing you every part of your training to see where you're coming, how you're coming with your training. And if you're not measuring up, they do get rid of you. That is what happens. So the police force we have is the best that we can test for right now. They're not just letting anybody in.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, I mean,
I think
once they get a badge, that's the problem. It's after they're in there. The training
Seems to stop. Does the training continue?
The stuff that they did, all the stuff that they rigorous things that they have to get into it's fine, and I'm sure that they do, and they have to get that kind of job. But the problem is when we're dealing with thousands of people being shot by police, we're dealing with hundreds of deaths, no convictions. The problem isn't with how they're getting in and getting these jobs. It's why is there this culture
Well, this disconnect.
that's happening? There's a disconnect with the people.
Because you can't tell me, like you just said, there's going to be some bad shoots. So out of all, I'll say 300, that no convictions, that's just, I mean, there were some bad shoots in there. Then we have got to find a way to prosecute and to find whoever is doing these shoots that are bad shoots, that this is accountability. And if we don't do that, this is an issue that we have. We want things to get better, we got to show accountability. If you do the crime, you should have your day in court. You shouldn't be executed.
They
That's
should
what
be
I'm saying.
executed, and that's the thing.
And nobody's saying criminals should
Let
get
me
off.
ask you
I've
this
never
too.
said.
I want to ask him something real quick, just because of what you just said. People should have their day in court. Love what you just said, because that brings me to something that I've been wondering about when it comes to this whole thing. Now, if you're saying that people should have their day in court, people deserve to stand trial. If you did the crime, do the time, all that stuff, right? And it, you have training with shooting and guns and shooting people and things like that. Isn't it funny to you? Isn't it weird to you that all these people that are being in these unlawful shootings, that the way they look like they're unlawful, the unarmed shootings and things like that, isn't it funny that they're all dead? Like, why is there nobody that's been wrongfully shot by these cops and they're still alive? Don't you think that it starts to play out in my mind like it's almost shoot to kill, because dead man tell no tales, and you just know the best eyewitness for one of these shootings would be the person who's getting shot. but they're never alive to tell the story. They're always dead. And these guys are highly trained shooters. A lot of these cops are marksmen. I mean, dead-eye shooters that can you know, hit
that true? Are they
hit
marksmen?
air. A lot of these cops are dead-eye shooters. So you don't think that some of these shootings, it doesn't seem like they're trying to kill these people? I mean, they're always dead. They're shooting to kill. They're lighting people up 6-7 rounds. One shot. Can't you tell if they're gonna come back and shoot you again after the one shot?
So here's the thing. You want to eliminate that threat. If there's a threat to life, you want to eliminate it.
No, okay. And you shot him. Didn't you eliminate the threat?
Well, no, you did not.
If you
Because-
shot him?
Listen, if that guy has a knife, that's a deadly weapon. He can still kill you.
But it's a knife to a gunfight, man.
It doesn't matter. So I'm telling you, you guys haven't experienced. I taught hand-to-hand combat. That was one of my jobs. So I taught people how to fight with a knife. The minimum distance you need to take down somebody with a knife, with a firearm, is 21 feet. Anything closer than 21 feet, he's going to be able to get to you with that knife before you can unholster your round and put a round down range. There's tons of training videos out there.
I seen it.
This is real world.
Yeah.
We train for real world. We don't train for Hollywood. 21 feet is the minimum. You can go on there. Doug Makata, he is a bladed weapons expert. Him and Zero, they go back and forth showing these training videos. You guys can look this up on YouTube. Watch it. 21 feet. You can see these guys pull these knives and get these people before they can even get their firearm out. Remember, that cop wants to go home.
Do you not feel like it's kind of an unfair advantage to be like, that's kind of like if I wanted to get in a fist fight with Conor McGregor, he's clearly going to beat the crap out of me. You know, it's kind of like he knows how to fight me without just killing me, Conor McGregor. So like these police officers, they have all this training to not kill people. They're not using that training.
Also,
They have all these
Isn't
pepper
that training of
sprays
not
and
killing people?
tasers.
Yeah,
just said-
wouldn't that,
That's
shouldn't
what
that
you're
be part of
saying.
it
They don't-
though? Shouldn't that be part of the training? Especially we're dealing with civilians, we're dealing with people in homes.
Let me break it down. We're taught to shoot, military and civilian, or military and police. We're taught to shoot center mass, and here's why. I'm going to explain to you. When that adrenaline's pumping, when you're moving side to side, I mean, we're not just sitting there taking their time aiming in, right? I mean, they're pulling their weapon and they're discharging around. When you're doing that, if you aim center mass, I mean, look at the size of your chest. It's about 2 feet by 2 feet, right? So even if you're off a little bit, you're still going to hit your target. Now, if you're aiming for somebody's leg, that's a small little target. That's like 6 inches. That's a heck of a target to try and hit when the subject is moving.
I think a
when
lot
you're
of them would
moving.
rather you try to hit that though than try to kill him.
Well, no, here's the thing. Well, if they were in compliance, if they didn't have a weapon, they shouldn't get shot. Right now, that happens. But I'm saying
That's a big part of the problem. We
But-
still haven't addressed that yet.
But here's the thing. If police officers get killed all the time by people with weapons who got the drop on them, police officers die as well.
And nobody said that nobody thinks that they should.
Right.
I
So
don't
no.
think that
I'm not
that's-
saying you guys do.
and
What
I
I'm saying is
absolutely-
they want to go home at the end of the day. They've got to make that split-second decision to pull that weapon and shoot. I'm telling you, the vast majority, I'd say 99% of the police that are out there, they don't put their gun on and their badge on and walk out the door and say, I'm going to shoot somebody today. None of them do that. I have a lot of friends who are in law enforcement, who are prior service. I talk to these guys. Some of them are in my organization. I work with these guys on a regular basis. I got guys that call me and say, hey man, I'm getting ready to serve this high-risk warrant. Can you say a prayer for me? We'll all get together, we'll pray for them, that nobody gets injured in that thing. You know, they're good guys. They want to do the best they can.
You
for
don't
their
think that's
community.
your interaction with somebody being in your profession, being where you are? You don't think that might be a little different than the way that they look at the average black civilian? I'm sorry, I gotta say it. It's just the elephant in the room. That's what happens. You don't think that your interaction might be a little different within them? I mean, I hear the way police talk to people. It's not nice. It's not friendly. They come at them because they look at them and see them a certain way. And they're coming at them.
It's a prejudge.
It's a
I've heard-
big difference in how they're
I've
going to
seen
talk
both
to
sides
you.
of it, but I've seen sides where I'm like, damn, you talking to somebody like that already? Would you talk to your buddy like
you're
that?
not
'Cause-
just, we want to be happy to see the police come. Like, oh, I need help from the police officer. I want to be happy, not like,
Right.
oh, he's gonna make the situation worse.
And so let's
think about this. When a police gets dispatched to something, right? It's because it's already a crisis mode. So when they see people, they don't see people like you and me right now, right? At
Exactly,
our
so that's-
best. They see people at their worst. They see people who are high on drugs. They see people who are involved in domestic violence, who are hit and run, who are robbing stores.
But
They
reverse
see
that. Reverse that. Don't you think we're seeing them at their
no,
worst?
here.
Hold on. They deal with that every single day, all day long. So when they come into a scenario, that's been their whole life for the last 6 hours, and now you want them to come in and just totally flush all of that, change their mindset, and come in with roses.
No,
That ain't
no,
gonna
no,
work.
that's not what I said.
and-
That's not what I
and-
said. I'm talking about people's lives, man. I'm talking about the difference between coming in and already knowing that you're going to look at somebody as a lethal threat before the situation already happens. You come in there with that mindset and your blood's pumping, somebody's going to end
That's
up
what we're
dead.
saying. The
And so what I'm saying is,
adrenaline's already
if
at
it's
an
already
all-time
there,
high.
you're going to end up killing
What-
somebody.
It just and I think that's where the disconnect really is. Is that who's controlling this adrenaline? It's already high. You got two sides high.
You have to,
De-escalate
though.
a situation.
But
No,
you
no,
gotta
but here's the thing.
de-escalate.
You have to what we call keep your head on a swivel, right? You've got to be checking everything. You walk
Okay.
into somebody's house, you don't know that whole layout. You don't know who's in that house. You know nothing. You're walking into that. Everybody and everything is a threat. You just have to look at it that way.
But that still sounds like it's still your fault if somebody ends up dead that shouldn't be dead. That still sounds like it's still on the shooter.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. They train for every scenario they can, but they can't train for everything that's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on.
So go ahead.
So they can't train for every single thing that's going to happen. Like I said, when they walk in,
Tell them what it is.
when they walk into a room, they don't know. Like I said, they don't know who's in there. They don't know who's a criminal. They don't know who's friendly, who's a foe. They have no idea of any of that stuff. They've got to go in and make those snap decisions. Now, like I said, I would encourage you guys to go on a ride along with these cops and see what their experience is every day. Right? It's hard to see somebody's
Tell 'em.
point of view if you haven't been there and walked that way. Right? So I would encourage any one of you guys to sign up and go on a ride along with these guys. Go and sign up for those shoot, no shoot scenarios where they'll put you through that training. It'll give you a different perspective. And I'm not defending the bad cops out there. And I have the same conversation
Are we admitting that there looks like there might be some bad cops out there?
And you know what? The police are going to agree with you. They don't want those guys in their
So
force.
why we're not hearing more
Okay,
from the
let me hear more about because you admit about the bad cops.
No, yeah,
what
I'm
should
not-
we
I'm
do
not trying to
to
defend the
limit
bad
and
cops.
how can we find ways to get rid of the bad cops or get them out?
Okay. That's a great question. I love that question. So, let me ask you this. How do you get the bad guys and the gangbangers out of the black community? Answer me that.
Wait a minute.
No. Listen,
hold on,
listen.
man. Now
You
that's
just
a
asked.
total-
No. You
we're
just
going-
asked how do you get the bad cops out of the police force. I'm asking how do you get the bad guys out of the
No,
the black
well,
community?
let me
I'm just-
address that though. Let me
If you
address
can
that.
answer that
I'm
question,
gonna try. Let me
then
address
it'll-
that though. Let me address that though because
Okay.
you're saying how do we get the bad guys out of the black community? Okay, we're not police. So that's a difference. You are public servants. We're talking about civilians, and we're talking about a job.
And then most
that you guys
gangbangers, they
that
go to
people
jail.
sign up, and
They
go
kill
to jail.
somebody, they go to jail.
You put black people.
That's the difference.
You put black people on camera doing crime.
They're
There
going
is
to
no
jail. They ain't
question
getting
they
a
go to
second and
jail.
third chance.
They're not getting a
They're
second
not
chance.
still walking around.
And they're not cops. It's not the
Now,
same
hold on,
thing.
hold on.
It is. So I'm going to tell you how you answer both of those questions.
No,
is
you
with
can-
is with personal accountability. That's
No,
how-
hell no, man.
Because
Sorry,
the
no,
police,
no,
the
no,
police have
no.
to,
Sorry.
So you don't want to hear what I have to say?
I want you.
You
Go ahead.
want to hear what
go
I
ahead.
have to say?
Go ahead.
You
Say
come
what
here
you
because
say.
you want to know
Go
what I have
ahead.
to
Go
say.
ahead. Go ahead and say. It
Okay,
just- that-
it's
it just sounds
personal
like
accountability. You want the police to be accountable for their actions, and you want them to hold their brothers accountable, right? When they know
They're
there's a cop that's
brothers.
bad.
I don't care if they're not your brother. They're somebody you work with. They're your co-worker, and they killed somebody. And if you know that they shouldn't have killed somebody, I don't care if they wear blue like you. They killed somebody, and they should be in trouble. I'm just responding to what he just said.
Okay, so right, if you're going to hold them to that standard, you got to hold yourself to that same standard. When you know your cousin or whoever's been out there doing dirt, selling drugs, doing bad stuff, why are you going to cover for them? Why are you
What?
not going to turn them in?
What?
Why are you not going to do that?
No.
You're going to hold them
We're
to a
talking
standard
about
that
two
you're not going to hold
different things,
yourself
man.
to. No. We're talking about standards and personal accountability.
No,
if you
we're
cannot
not,
hold,
it's not my job to police anybody.
but that's wrong. It
no,
is
it's
your
not.
job.
No, see,
It is your job.
that's the mindset.
It is your
that's
job.
the mindset.
It's
that's,
my
that's,
job
that's
to
killing
hold
people.
my friends accountable, no matter what color, what race, what creed they are. If I see my friends going out there and doing dirt, it's my responsibility to hold them accountable.
No.
to keep
but it's
society
really not.
safe.
It's really not. Don't you think that there's
It
a
is.
difference? There's a difference between somebody who signed up to be a police officer and to protect and serve, and to
Serve.
watch for crime and all of that stuff. That's their job. That's what they do as a profession. It's not some they answered the call and they're a hero no. They went to do a job that they signed up for, knowing the risks that are involved. That is different than me seeing somebody. I don't have to worry about anybody except myself and my children and my family. That's it. I don't have to
And
watch.
that's where I disagree.
No, it's not.
Nicholas
I say,
Jones' comment.
you guys got to both.
That's where I disagree with you. You have to.
Nicholas Jones' comment was, "No one's saying it's wrong to respond to such a way to criminals whom law enforcement is to serve and protect civilians." The comment.
No, what I think he's trying to say is that at the end of the day is if somebody's doing wrong, period. If they're doing wrong, they should get in trouble. It is not my job to get anybody in trouble. Nobody, I'm not accountable for anybody who's doing anything.
I don't know.
I
say
disagree with
You
you
know,
100%.
what
Because
do you
community,
mean?
that's where you get a community. I mean,
What do you mean in the community though? How is
when
it
you
my
talk
job?
about you see something, so I don't know. That's a different.
I
scenario.
don't have
know if
the
I
right
necessarily
to
agree.
arrest anybody or kill anybody.
Yes,
A cop does.
You do.
No, I really don't. I
It's
really
called a
don't. It's not
citizen
my job.
arrest.
If
It's
it's
called
your
a citizen
community, I
arrest.
think-
Yes.
I-
If you see somebody
Well, I'm
committing
not
a
gonna do
felony,
it.
Man,
Not gonna lie.
I got
I'm just
way
telling
too
you.
much
I ain't
to
doing that
say
citizen
about
arrest.
than arresting
But it's
somebody. I ain't
community.
trying to put
we
nobody.
get in trouble. We'll go to jail if we kill somebody.
Exactly.
If we hurt
That's-
somebody.
and-
we'll
and-
get sued.
It's a
The
different
point is,
You know.
the point is, if something has been, nothing's being done for the bad cops. We say that
Nothing's
that's out
being
there.
done.
And that's the issue. I think is that we want accountability. All of us have to be accountable.
right? And I agree with that 100%. But you cannot hold somebody to a standard you're not willing to hold yourself.
But that is BS. I'm sorry,
No, it's
because
not.
they're a cop. I'm not a cop.
Well,
That's
it
their
doesn't
job.
matter. That's the reason
Yes,
why
it
we went
is,
there.
man.
You're a
That's why-
citizen of the United
So
States,
That's why we
right?
want
Not the
justice.
same.
That's why we want them to go to
That is
court
not
and-
the
and
same.
Be convicted.
It is very
It's not the
much
same.
so.
If I did something wrong, I go to jail. The cops don't. Don't you see that's the difference? I can't pull somebody over. If I see them speeding, I can't pull them over. That's not my job. So it's not my job to sit there. I'm not accountable
And I'm not
the way a
talking
cop
about
is.
somebody
Yeah,
speeding.
no, we're
I'm
talking
talking
about-
about
You
there's
know what
a
I'm
known
talking
drug
about.
house. You know people
And so
are
I'm
going
going kicking
running-
the door. I got family.
Did I
and
say that?
kids.
No,
I
that-
said, but you can do your part and you can report
And
on
what?
it. You know somebody who has got some stolen
What
firearms.
does that have to do with cops
so
killing
you're
people
talking
when they're
more
not
about
supposed to?
community
I'm
involvement.
talking about.
Are you talking about more community?
No, wait a minute. No, stop
It's
that.
not
Hold on.
just the police's responsibility. It's all of our
Wait a minute though.
responsibility. to
There's
make sure our
bad
neighborhoods are
neighborhoods in
safe.
every race, bro. There's bad neighborhoods
I
in every
agree
race,
with
and
you.
I'm not seeing white people get killed like that. So
Well,
why? So
yes,
because
yes,
so
they
because
are.
no, they're not, and that's BS, and you know it. Show me the videos of white people getting shot the way that Fidel Castile got shot. Show me that. Show me the video of Eric Garner getting choked out. Show me a video of a white guy getting killed like that. Show me it, and then I'll agree with you. Because until then, it's not the same. It isn't the same, and you know it's not. And that's crap to say. Oh, it's your fault because your communities are bad. Are you kidding me? That's why. That's why it's like
I never
that?
said it was your fault. 'Cause
No,
your
but you
communities
even
are
to bring
bad.
that up when we're
what
talking
I
about
said
cops
is,
cops killing
you
people.
want police to hold each other accountable, right? If they know there's a bad cop, then they need to stand up and they need to get rid of that
I'm
cop.
talking about the
He needs to
cops
be
doing it, though.
listen, He needs to be prosecuted, right? You want them to police their own. I agree with you 100%. That has to happen. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing at all. That has to happen. And the police that are out there that are good, they want that to happen as well, because they don't want to go out there and have. Would you want to go to a job where everybody hates you every single day? No, you wouldn't want to do that.
No.
They don't want to do that either, man.
But if they hate me for killing people that don't have
Listen,
weapons on them, then
Okay,
that's different.
okay, hold on.
you need to hold yourself to the same standard you want them held to.
No, I don't. I'm not a cop. That is
It doesn't matter.
crap.
It doesn't matter. Being a cop or not doesn't mean you don't do the right thing.
It's
You
not
have
about
to do
the right thing.
thing.
I've got two questions, and I know you've been trying to explain that. But the first question is, there was a comment that said, would you acknowledge that there's something lacking on the police's side? Training, whatever it is, there's something lacking, right? Is there
Correct.
not something lacking.
But that's not the individual officer's responsibility. That's policy. And I'm going to touch on that because a lot of it is funding. I know Seattle PD is underfunded because I talked to guys who are on it, who don't have the gear that they need. Not every cop has a taser. It's not available to them. Not every cop has pepper spray. It's not available to them. Not only do they have to buy it and give it to the police officer, they have to put them through training on when to use it, how to use it. All of that costs a lot of money. Okay? So not every officer has that. The officers that are out there right now in riot gear that are making sure people are safe for the Pride Parade and all of that stuff, They don't even have the proper gear they need to make sure that happens. You've got two officers, one guy holding a shield and a helmet and the other guy behind him. And then they have to switch off because they don't have enough gear to protect themselves. It's a funding issue. Okay? These are things that the general public doesn't know.
Yeah, the budget was cut. And who cut the budget? Is the budget?
I don't know who cut the budget.
Oh yeah,
but I know that they're painting sidewalks all kinds of colors and paying money for it
Oh,
in
now
Seattle,
you got to-
right? But they could be spending money training
Well.
police officers to de-escalate situations. I agree with you. I don't disagree with that. I agree there needs to be more training, and the officers want more training. They want better gear. They want other options. Because I tell you what, you take a life, whether it was a good shoot or a bad shoot, whether that person was trying to kill you or you made a mistake, you live with that for the rest of your life. That never goes away. There are not these homicidal maniacs running around with Seattle PD badges on wanting to kill everybody. Okay?
Yes.
When you pull that trigger, have you ever shot somebody and pulled the trigger, took a life?
Never.
Okay.
Not once.
So I'm telling you, when you do that,
plan on
it changes you. You live with that for the rest of your life. It's not something you want to go out and do over and over and over.
This is a really good question. Sally said the cop that shot Charlene had a taser in his locker for 2 weeks. So he had the taser. He had access to the taser. He didn't bring it.
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying, if that's true, isn't that a problem? If that's true,
I agree. Yes, if that is true, I agree. He could have had the taser, but that doesn't mean that he had gone through the training for it yet either. So that's the other thing we got to look at, is they have to have the proper training for it. Otherwise, then they get sued. They say, oh, well, they held it for 4 seconds when they're only supposed to hold it for 3 or whatever. Right?
So I think cops, if they're not trained properly.
and we're putting them on
Right.
the street.
How are they
They
street
are-
ready if they're not
These aren't
trained?
even hostile environments. Like,
Don't you see how these-
She's a pregnant woman with a knife, and she called them for help.
And the problem is, we still haven't seen the knife. Like, what a knife? We don't even know. If it was a
I
butter
don't.
knife
Yeah.
or
Do we
a-
know if she even had a
I
knife?
just
That's and
People
well,
lie.
that's-
my only thing
that's-
is like I want to feel safe. If I'm calling a cop for help, well, man, I've just been robbed. I don't want to be in fear of my life that they're gonna flip it on me.
Hey, I agree with you.
I mean,
agree.
if I'm not doing anything and I'm harassed, that's an issue. I'm sorry, man.
Multiple things.
And that's what I'm saying is that if we want all this coming together, and all the communities joining hands and stuff, it has to be active on both sides. And I just sometimes, when you look at it, especially being a person of color, you just don't see that. And then we have incidents like that, and everybody's picking sides. Well, the cops was, the cops were all right. They did what they're supposed to do. Well, yeah, okay, but what's the humanity side to something too? We have to take a step back and be like, okay, the life was lost.
Yep.
At some point, we have to be.
I really have a hard time. We're talking about police killing people that don't necessarily have to be killed. And then it goes to, well, why don't you guys do better in their community? If a white person got shot and killed, nobody's going to say, well, why don't white people do better in their community? They're just going to say, this person got shot and killed the way that they weren't supposed to. It's our responsibility somehow that we're getting killed for wearing hoodies and walking around at night, or we're getting killed for standing on the wrong corner, or we're getting killed because we look like a threat, or because we live in a bad neighborhood. It's our responsibility for not getting killed, or because we live in a community that might be bad. That's crap. That is so much garbage. I can't even understand how anybody could think that way, because that has nothing to do with the fact that people don't have to get killed in these situations. The fact that they live somewhere else. We did not sign up for this. We did not sign up for the conditions that we live in a lot of these places. When we're living in these bad neighborhoods, you think a lot of these people want to live in these bad neighborhoods? They don't. A lot of people don't want to live in the communities. A lot of people are as scared as the criminals in their areas that you are as a cop. They're as scared of that as you are. But it's their fault for getting killed? Come on, man.
I never said it was their fault for getting killed. You're making things in your mind.
I'm going off of what you said.
I didn't say. I never once said that.
You're saying anytime that we're talking about people being shot when they don't have to, and then I hear the whole
I
thing.
said the community
coming up
I think he's referring to when you said what we can do better as a community.
That's right.
You said that, but that's what he's talking
That's
about.
what the world
We
can be
can.
better. That's great. That has nothing to do with the job that somebody's
we
doing
understand that.
that is
Police-
resulting in somebody's
The police
death.
can't fix everything. They can't. There's not enough of them. We don't want to live in a police
Well,
state. We want
I think
freedom. So we need to start taking responsibility for our home, for our block, for our neighborhood. Every person needs to take responsibility. Because you know what? The police are going to get called out a lot less if when we see dirt happening, we're taking that young guy in and saying, hey man, what you're doing is not good. You need to be changing these things. And when we know somebody's out there committing crimes, and
So don't call the police until you live in a better neighborhood.
that's not what I said at all. I'm saying you need to do your part. You need to do your part to police your neighborhood.
Okay.
That,
You got to have personal
Okay.
accountability.
Well,
You just want
guys,
everybody
it's
to take
getting
care of you.
time.
That's not
As you
right.
can see,
I wanted to.
and you do got to own your. I totally agree with Todd on that. You got to own your block. Your.
That's right.
And I.
Or get shot.
That's not. But you're going to
No,
the.
see, you go to the
I just
extreme.
think
It's not
this.
I
You
don't
lose
understand
a
what-
lot of moderate people when you do that.
No, I don't care about
No,
moderate
but
people. I'm talking about people
You
that are
need
getting
to.
killed.
You
But-
need
but I
to.
don't
You need to care
understand-
about public opinion. That's what you're talking
Public
about.
opinion is what is public opinion on these police right now? Because they're the ones that are responsible. They're the ones with these jobs and these badges.
Hold on. I really wanted to say, I don't understand how. What does me having to take care of my community have to do with Fidel Castile, who was like a teacher, right? He was a
Fidel
teacher.
Castile is
He
in
had
a
a
car,
right to bear
lawfully
his
in his
arms.
car.
Yep.
And that.
And I have a problem with the NRA. How come the NRA don't have his backup?
Yeah,
But the thing is, what was the split decision there?
But I think, but those are two different. I think those are two subjects though, and we can actually go into that because that subject is also owning your own block. I've heard that, and I haven't heard that different
I
way.
don't understand how what
And
does
it-
that have to do with somebody that.
Well,
was
we ain't gonna
well-
go into that today.
He was well
So
loved in his
let's wrap
community.
this up.
He was well loved in his community.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And
I thought
that's
that was
a bad
shoot.
shoot.
Oh,
I
there-
agree with that. 100%.
All right, well, we can agree with that.
All right.
Well, we're gonna thank Aaron Quinones
Aaron.
for coming on. It's
Thank
been
you, Bo.
a good,
man.
good discussion. I know it's a tough one, but thanks for being brave enough
Yeah,
to
man.
come out and speak.
Hey,
to
And
us.
not only
problem,
that,
bro.
not only that, as you can see, man, we in the barbershop we discuss all types of subjects. We get into it, get out. The important thing is we leave with just a different perspective.
You gotta
So
be
that's
open to
okay.
hear everything, and it seems it seems.
But it's all love at the end of the day.
It's all love, and it's the kind of discussion. that
Terry
needs
being
be
here to
had.
get a haircut, Aaron be back here to get a haircut. So
It'll be all the same as long as Barry doesn't mess us
Oh,
up.
man,
like Barry's good. Barry, where's the shop at, man?
Back
Tell
to
him
mine,
where
Central Avenue.
the
No,
shop's
y'all
at. All right, we're gonna be back. We'll be back next week. I'll have a review of Baby Driver. So get a look, be on the look for that. We'll be back next week. And until then,
like there is good
peace
people,
out,
good
everybody.
cops. There are